This is egg on our face. We need like dry runs before we give him permission.
That's like our bad. And really, you'd be Kurt? I don't think so.
Hello, my name is Kurt Wagner. Just kidding. It's James here with Nerd Alert, and I'm here with.
We gave him that. We gave him that for that. We let him intro it for that. That's what we got here. We need, you know what? This is egg on our face. We need like dry runs before we give him permission.
That's like our bad. And really, you'd be Kurt? I don't think so.
Oh, well, then who would I be, Dad?
Siren.
Jubilee.
Siren.
I'll take Siren over Jubilee.
Because the things that come out of your mouth are annoying and you got red hair.
There you go. Bang, bang, boom.
You can fly though.
So in our ongoing X-Men reviews, we are now at X-Men Apocalypse. We kind of took a break here. There was stuff going on. We're back to it, and boy, oh boy, you know, after as I said in the Days of Future Past, the gift that was given to this franchise, the absolute gift that we gave it to put everything back on course. They said, what if we took it off the rails immediately?
And what sucks is the teaser at the end of that gives us the first look of Apocalypse and what he's going to do back in ancient Egypt. I'm like, oh man, this got potential. Like they're going to bring Apocalypse into the live action universe. They did.
They did do that. They in fact did that.
It was so first time I ever saw this, and by this time I was not watching X-Men movies in the theater. Wolverine kind of turned me off after a succession of not awesome movies, even though I really liked Days of Future Past. So I didn't see this in the theater. I saw it when it came out on video. I was so disappointed. Like I really could not fathom how this movie got made. I thought Oscar Isaac looked weird and goofy as Apocalypse. Like I love him as an actor, but I'm like, that's the Apocalypse we came up with. Like that's the character and the costume. Like, oh boy,
he looked like he looked like Ivan Ooze.
It was
the Power Rangers.
Yes, exactly.
And it doesn't help that this Apocalypse is just like, what the fuck is going on? Somehow the cartoon Apocalypse is more threatening than Oscar Isaac like breathing into the mic at every moment.
And the horsemen that they bring about, like I'll be honest, when I re-watched it for this, it was better than I remembered it. And I was watching with fresh eyes and not huge, terrible disappointment because I hated it after the following of Future Past. I did like the introduction of familiar characters with new people, like the new Storm. I was like, okay, I dig that. I wasn't necessarily thrilled that she was a Horseman of the Apocalypse, but I'm like, okay, that's cool. I really enjoyed, as you mentioned, Nightcrawler. I thought nobody could do better than Alan Cumming. I was wrong. I really enjoyed what they did with that character. Who was the other one? Was it Angel that was in this?
This is what I mean by a gift is you reintroduce Angel and you just do nothing with him again.
And that's what I
get rid of him immediately.
You know, the version they had in The Last Stand, it was like, wow, you wasted Ben Foster as a great actor, and this character was stupid. And then to bring him back again, and he is a major horseman in almost every story I can think of with Apocalypse, becoming what we know as
Archangel.
Archangel, thank you. And this was just like, really? What? Okay. And then we do bring back Mystique. We bring back Professor X. We bring back Magneto. Honestly, if you just had a quasi-okay storyline and involved basically any of the actors who have been Magneto or Xavier, I would watch that.
I mean, but this
wasn't good.
This goes right along the lines of everything I've said since Fassbender shows up as Magneto. Yeah. You have killer Magneto scenes, and then just followed by awful rest of the movie. Like the whole scene with him in the forest when they realize who he is after Days of Future Past. Yeah. And it's like, that's the Scarlet Witch. He has his daughter right there. You know, you see like the birds start flying. They had freaked out. And then just the fact that he kills them all with the necklace, like it was just so cool and badass and what you want to see from Magneto. And you've like watched this guy be humbled and he's like, I just want to be left alone. I made mistakes. I'm just trying to do my family. And here the world is bothering me again after I have agreed to just finally let this be. They come and destroy everything I have. So now I have to make them pay. And then just from there, it goes
Well,
off the
and then
rails.
how do you wrap up that storyline at the end when he's like doing his power thing, supplying Apocalypse with power, and there's Evan Peters, Quicksilver, doesn't know. Well, he knows that's his dad, but Magneto doesn't know, and it's like this tension. I'm like, I don't feel tension because I don't care.
Yeah.
That's bad. You've made this movie. Like, seriously, you killed his daughter. You want this familial relationship, and it's to the point where I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically where I was at with these. And like I said, it was even more, it was a harder watch for me the first time after the gift. Like I said, after how you were given this clean slate to continue on. And it's just like, oof, you just fumbled it so bad.
And it's not like
all over the
the
place.
creative team. It's like Bryan Singer, no comment on him as a person, but he came in and he did Days of Future Past. Simon Kinberg, which is one of the reasons why I'm really leery about him touching the Star Wars universe, this and The Last Stand. But it's like you guys had people that knew what they were doing and they just farted and proved that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's gross. Gross fart.
Yeah, they farted all over the script and said, "Ooh, we can turn this in."
And I was like, don't do that, please, for whatever reason.
Put time and effort in, and maybe use established characters and don't waste ones that already exist. I love Psylocke as a character, and she shows up, and it's like, what the fuck is she doing here?
That was weird, and I love it.
I can't. I'm not a fan of hers, so I I'm never really been a fan of hers. So
that's fair. That's
when
understandable.
I saw she was a Psylocke, I'm like, this does nothing for me. This decision.
Olivia,
and that was I think that was like the last time.
Represent me. He does not represent Nerd Alert. So if you would like to talk, please reach out. That's just.
I mean, this goes back to when she called MC Chris, DJ Chris, and just she was kind of a fake nerd when she hit the scene and just started acting like she was into this stuff because G4 was paying her. But either way,
awesome
this was like the last time I think they did a fan casting, and I think it's a perfect example of why they shouldn't listen to the studios with fan casting. Like, just do what you're intending to do, because it just wasn't very good. And it was just so like nobody else looked comic accurate except for her. Like, I also just thought that was weird. By the end of the movie, they kind of lean into the X-Men costumes and stuff. But I mean, like, she showed up and it was like they just, oh, you guys want Olivia Munn as Psylocke? Here you go.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon. I believe she was up for the role of Vanessa in Deadpool, but did not want to be sort of the damsel in distress. So she took the role of Psylocke thinking, well, she's a superhero, but then really wasn't in the movie all that much. I believe that, I might be making that up, but I swear that she was out. And she just didn't want to be that damsel in distress, so she took Psylocke, which was barely in the movie.
That sounds about
right. I did like how they introduced Caliban. I thought that was cool, and it was a different Caliban than what we see in Logan, which was fun. And I'm not a big Caliban fan, but I like how they used him and that they were just trying to find mutants, and he was like this underground dude trying to get some mutants to safety. I thought that was fun.
Well, it's what we've talked about in the other ones where, like, yeah, use actual people. We don't need just like superpower girl running around. Like you have hundreds of mutants to choose from.
And it was cool because he wasn't a focus. Like, that's what we've also talked about. It's like, why did you put this mutant in here as a focus, yet nobody cares? It's like, cool. Maybe there's a Uber Caliban following somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to know them. But the fact that they just put him in the film and we know who he is, and we go, oh, that's a great use of that character. Perfect. And honestly, Logan was another great use of that character. So I thought that was cool how they did that. And they did that a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so that all being said, where does this rank for you? In the better or worse than anyone you want to throw out there?
That's a tough one because in the X universe, and I'm including the one shots as well, to me, there's a great divide of really good and really, really bad. So although I don't necessarily think this is a middle of the road film, I do think it's a little subpar. In the X universe, I'd put it middle of the road in that it was watchable, especially the second time when I wasn't so disappointed with expectations. It wasn't as nearly as bad as Wolverine Origins. Like that to me is the low point in the X universe.
Yeah, that next three
anywhere near that.
safely nestled at the bottom.
Yeah, it wasn't near that, but it was. So I would say middle of the road. How about you?
I will agree with that wholeheartedly. In terms of X-Men movies, it's never going to reach the top, but I also don't think it's atrocious enough to deserve a place at the bottom. It just is there. It's something you can watch if you're like an X-Men fan. I can speak English. If you're an X-Men fan, like any of us, yeah, it's going to be disappointing because they misuse characters and fuck shit up. But if you're just shutting your brain off, it's not atrocious. It's a movie you can watch. So I feel like a middle of the road kind of ranking is apropos.
Brandon?
I'd probably go along with you guys, but just maybe a rank or two lower, just because, like I said, like this was your this was your chance to restart and do it right. And just almost like the DC movies, it's like you have all these decades of history to pull from, and you kind of just slap it together. I think it'll be a long time before I rewatch this movie again. I'm not like, oh man, need more of it.
It'll probably be when we forgot we ranked these and we go back and rewatch them and be like, oh shit, that's right, we already ranked these. I forgot that.
We already did this shit, yeah.
But you brought up a good point, and maybe the best thing about these X-Men movies and this X experience, and you could even put it on with like the Fantastic Four, is Kevin Feige saw what not to do, so that you pull actual stories from the comic books and you reinterpret them and adapt them, but you don't go straight for it, or you don't go, hey, here's a character, let's use them, but we're not going to use anything that was in the books. Oh wait, he had 4 horsemen? That sounded cool. Let's do that.
But we'll just select them at random.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's go get the giant wheel of doom for our 4 horsemen.
Yeah, there you go. Just figure it out.
See, I wanted a what if series with like the 4 worst mutants being the horsemen. That to me, like Jubilee is now a horseman. You can make her vampire or not, I don't care. But that'd be hilarious to have her like, oh, I'm a horseman, I'm gonna kill you, sparklers. Like,
oh my God, I would kill for that. Like, please, Marvel, if you are tapping into this, or like somebody on your writing team sees this, please do.
I hope.
What if with the worst X-Men as the horseman?
I hope they make Jubilee a horseman, and she is just brutal. I hope she is just a brutal horseman of death.
Yeah, I hope she kills without. I hope she kills without her powers, just to show how stupid they are.
Well, that being said, you'll see us again for another review of whatever's next in the series.
Are we at Phoenix?
And, oh, God. We can take a break and do Logan if you want.
Phoenix is next. Or no, I think Logan is next.
Well, that's at least worthwhile.
Maybe.
I got some negatives on it, though, but I enjoyed the movie. But
yeah, Logan is next.
We'll get into that next time.
Who's
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.